The Boundary Park Alert System is sponsored by Pendle New Tech, a family-run Lancashire business you can rely on for everything fire safety related, including supply and installation, maintenance, testing, certification, alarms, risk assessments, like I said, anything fire safety related. But what do I know? Visit pendlenewtech.com and they'll sort you right out. Check the show notes for more information. This is a test of the Boundary Park Alert System. Hello and welcome to the Boundary Park Alert System with me, Matt Dean, from a quite nice, quite warm northwest of England. Joined in the southeast of England, as always, by Andy Halliwell. What's it like down there, Andy? It looks like quite sunny in your backyard.
I was cracking the flags, mate. Cracking the flags. Yeah.
Just listeners, be advised that Andy doesn't have a backyard. He has a lovely garden. It looks lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be it's probably barbecue weather. It's that warm.
Are you going to bother?
Don't know yet, because you know when you're not planned it, have you? Because you're thinking the weather's turned, and I don't know. We might actually pop out after we've recorded this. Might walk down to the high street, go to the butcher's, get a couple of bits. Where we go?
Oh, there. It sounds good, mate. Yeah, sounds good. And yesterday you would have been in Cambridge, where the weather looked very pleasant as well.
Yeah, many of us completely overcooked it. Went in jeans and jackets. A lot of sweaty Latics fans. It was lovely yesterday. Really nice day.
Yeah, it looked it. Yeah,
it was good day out. Really enjoyed it.
Fine turnout from Latics in Cambridge yesterday. 800 or so. Really good turnout. Yeah,
decent. Yeah. I play When the Blues Prediction League. So you put down the attendance as one of the things that you predict. Well, I had a look. they get about 6,500 normally. Thereabouts. I thought, well, we're in town, so we'll bring a few more than everyone else does that they've played. And there's no Premier League games on, so a few more people will turn up. About 7,000, I reckon. Yeah, 6,500. looks like no one in Cambridge can be bothered. So I missed out there.
No, well, never mind. I mean, your logic was sound.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Didn't work.
Anyway, we have somebody very patiently waiting in the wings to join us, the fan guest. So, Andy, do your thing.
Okay, good morning, fan guest. Can you tell us your first Latics game? When was it?
Yep, certainly. So my first Latics game was April 1996, Wolves at home in what was then the First Division, now Championship. I think it was a 0-0 draw, and we missed I know we missed a penalty. Can't remember who missed it, but yeah, it was a sign of things to come, it seems. So, yeah.
Well, Paddy or Paul, I'm sure will tweet after this podcast goes out and tell us exactly who missed that penalty. One of them will know. Who's your first favourite player, fan guest?
Stuart Barlow.
Scored a lot of goals, didn't he, really, when you look back on it? He was always felt a bit powder puffed, didn't he? But when you looked at his record, it was 1 in 3. Decent. What is your favourite Latics away game?
I think it's probably a toss-up with one of the cup games. We can't include Wembley, can we? Because it's a neutral venue, I suppose. So, one of the cup games, mate. I'd probably say, on balance, the Forest game in 2013 at the City Ground. That was a great day. Close second will be Fulham, but I'd go with Forest, I think.
Yeah, it was a good game, that. First game I ever took my wife to. Great game. Loved it. And then give us a little known or a little unknown fact about yourself.
I suppose one I'd say is that over the years I have had quite a wide range of celebrity doppelganger comparisons, ranging from I think there was an When the Blues post which compared me to Woody Harrelson. Which once it went up there, everyone for the next 3 months, everyone who saw me at various away games was like, "Oh yeah," So like, yeah. Then the next one was Tyson Fury, which is stuck, which I have mixed feelings on. I think when seeing him as a young lad with hair, though, it's a bit more flattering. And then perhaps the most flattering, but perhaps the least credible, simply because it was a bloke who was still pissed from the night before outside Scala at King's Cross, started comparing me once to Eddie Hearn, follows me up the street to King's Cross station asking for my autograph. Deadly serious face on him. So I was like, well, I'll take the comparison. But
Did you sign the autograph though?
I should have done, really, just to get rid of him, really. But no, I didn't. He did leave me alone after about 500 yards. But so there we go. That's probably. I mean, listeners will make their own mind up as to the accuracy and credibility of those. But yeah, that's there we go.
Welcome to the podcast. Tell us, everyone, who you are. Who are you?
Yeah, James Floyd.
James Floyd, who is for those who don't know, James is. You've been a long-standing member of Oasis, like one of the old guard Oasis lads, aren't you? I've known James. So. Yeah, I've probably known you for nearly 20 years now. I would have thought, but thereabouts.
Somewhere there or thereabouts. I mean, I've been in Oasis since moving down here in 2012. So what's that? 13 years or so. But I mean, I knocked about with them for a good few years before that. At various Southern games. Yeah, I've known them over the years. So just fitted in very well when I moved down here. So yeah.
Are you a London boy like Andy then?
Certainly am. Yeah, I live in Islington. I can actually just looking out this window next to me. I can just see the roof of the Emirates about 500 yards down the road. So yeah, it's very much still a northerner, strictly speaking, in Islington. But,
absolutely. You still sound like a northerner. Don't worry. Yeah. You don't have that sort of like Poncy London twang like Andy does. Do you ever notice that when you listen back to it, podcast, Andy? How southern you sound now?
There's an odd word, isn't there? There's an odd word that I pronounce sometimes with a slight southern vowel sound to it. You check yourself when you do. I mean, some of my proudest moments though are when my kids. I've got two lads, as you know. Well, one of my lads is absolutely adamant it's Bath. And the other one is on my team and just says it's Bath, Daddy. There's no R in it, is there? And I'm like, no, exactly. So
listen, Andy, you sound just as mank as you ever did. So don't worry too much. I'm just winding you up. But so presumably then you made the relatively short trip, James, as did Andy, from London to Cambridge yesterday, to bear witness to Latics' first win of the season.
Yep.
800 fans, like I said before, cracking turnout. I was really, really envious yesterday. I really wanted to go yesterday. It would have been a new ground for me. I've never been to Cambridge. And I really wanted to go, but I had work commitments yesterday, so I couldn't go. I was really gutted though. And you guys can tell me more about the whole experience, but from what I saw, I watched the game, it looked like a really, really good away performance. I thought there were some really, really encouraging signs yesterday. It was so good to have Tom Pett back on the pitch. I thought we defended really well on the whole. Cracking move for the goal. Tell us what was the vibe? How did you see it? James, you can kick us off, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. It was, it was great. It was a great day yesterday. Atmosphere, the fans were absolutely brilliant. It was quite nice. It was quite. I say nice. It was quite cool actually being packed in. I think to that old terrace as well. We're at the side this time around rather than behind the goal. We've always been behind the goal at Cambridge whenever I've been in that kind of raised on that raised seating area. But yeah, I actually preferred it down in the down on the terrace this time. And yeah, 700 plus packed in. It was really good atmosphere. And yeah, I thought we played very, very well. I thought the 4-3-3 with the personnel we had worked brilliantly. And yeah, Tom, you could just see it. It was like having another man in midfield with Tom Pett back. It really was. It was it was a really, really good performance. I was a bit nervous coming up to the midpoint of the second half. We were under the cosh a bit. We just had that one where we cleared off the line, and I was starting to wonder if we could sustain the defending that we were. I mean, I thought Daniels, Month, and Sutton were outstanding, but I was starting to wonder. When you look at the clock and there's still 20-25 minutes left, it's a long time to hold out. But really, as soon as I'd had that thought, we made the subs, and I thought game management for the last 15 or 20 minutes was excellent. I thought all the subs were superb. I think Kane Drummond, everyone will talk about that chance he had right at the end that the keeper saved, which, it's a shame for him because it's another miss to add to that tally. But at the same time, I did think he was excellent. All of a sudden we just had some legs in their half, in the final third that we'd not really had up until that point in the second half. And after we took obviously taking Mellon off and moving Fondop up front, but he really gave us that. And Caprice come on as well for Sutton, I think, with about 10, 15 minutes left, and he just looked like he'd never been away. And them subs made a real difference. And I thought, that game management got us over the line. And it was a really, really good first win, I think. So
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. I thought Drummond, like you, I thought Drummond did well when he came on. He did have an impact. He was a nuisance, and all of a sudden we went from being in that position, like you said, to controlling the game again, and just everything just sort of settled down. And what a difference! Like, I mean, the quality when you're bringing back quality players like that. I mean, how Tom Pett has gone from not featuring at all to playing 90 minutes. I don't know. I mean, pulled that one out of the bag and still running around like a machine at the end of the game. Absolutely brilliant. Andy, what was your take on yesterday's game?
Do you know what's really interesting is I knew James was going to say that because I think we either spoke about it yesterday because I saw James yesterday in the pub before the game. We either spoke about it at a game or maybe I've seen him tweet it. But I knew James was going to say 4-3-3, and this shows a bit how fluid the setup was because there were times when the shape did look 4-3-3, right? But we definitely started off as 4-4-2, and Tom Pett was on the right wing.
He was,
in the 4-4-2.
He was on the left, yeah.
Then, at various times, when we were out of possession, if you watched, Hannon would drop into left back and Robson would tip over to make a third centre-half. So we were 5 at the back. And then what he would do is get Pett to come in narrow off the right wing and you'd go 3 in the middle. So he was going from 4-4-2 to 5-3-2 to 4-3-3 in game. They've been given instructions. Now, I thought that was when I was watching it and trying to pick up on it. It was proper tinker stuff, wasn't it? He wasn't. Mellon sometimes in the past has got a little bit of criticism for being it's dinosaur tactics. He just hits it long. There's no finesse to it. It's quite a bit of finesse there that even the laypersons like us have picked up on. So he's just saying, out of possession, if you just tuck in and you put I thought it was a really, really good away, strategically, tactically, commitment wise, everything. It was a really, really good away day. There is a bit of me that's wondering whether we had this last year. Mellons sets up. Our Mellons' record away from Boundary Park is probably better than his record at Boundary Park, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Over the course of his management, he just sets a team up better away from home, and at home he's struggled for a while now to break teams open and get them beat. But anyway, that was something that I noticed during the game, and I wanted to comment on because I kind of wrote it down. I think, like in the first half, there were points where they were sort of seeming to play through us a bit easily. I was just when the game started and it's ebbing and flowing, and you're trying to work out who's going to get on top. But they didn't create anything particularly dangerous. Manny Month was immense, absolutely immense. Brilliant centre half display from Manny Month. Nothing got past him. Nothing was. You weren't going to beat him. Absolutely brilliant he was. And then, like you say, having Pett as the extra set of legs in midfield, if you've got Pett, Woods and Conlon, who are all relatively tidy with the football, and there's 3 of them, and they pass it between each other, you've just retaining the football better and then creating a bit of space for other people to run into. So that was good. I mean, you're being, if you all the other things that James picked up on, having someone in who can finish, Mellon being in the right place to receive that ball, where maybe the other strikers on the books maybe possibly wouldn't have been, or had they have been, would have still missed, or that was good. I think if you're going to be picky, just for the fact that we've got to fill an hour's worth of conversation about the game yesterday, I'm really happy. I've come away really happy. I had a good sleep. Got up this morning with a smile on my face. Yes, got a win. I've got nothing to moan about. Not moaning. saw Danny Fairbrother and his lovely wife yesterday, and he was like, are you zen? I'm like, I am so relaxed, mate, really chilled, nothing to worry about. That's how I feel, but I've still got a feeling how I'm talking. If you're going to be picky, Will Sutton doesn't win enough headers. So they targeted him quite a bit, and he doesn't quite win enough headers. Mike Fondop is one of the best centre-halves in the country for clearing corners and free kicks.
Yeah.
But he didn't hold the ball up well enough up front, and he didn't win enough headers up at the other end of the pitch. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe he got isolated a couple of times. It wasn't like he's not capable, particularly. But, you're being hypercritical if you're picking out those things, because everybody contributed to a good away performance. I think the thing that I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. I'm relaxed because I know we're playing quite well and it will come good. And yesterday's an example of that. But I'm even more relaxed because I think that this team will get better.
It is getting better. Yesterday was an example of that, wasn't it? That it's the difference that the addition of one more quality footballer can make to a team, or two more quality footballers in the case of Mellon and Pep being back in yesterday, was just... There was a moment in the first half, Andy, where I think Pep grew into the game. I think when he got moved around, like when he was playing out on the right, and it was his first game back for a while. It took him a while to get into the game, which I think is fair. But there was a point, like his first, he played a ball from the right hand side across behind the defenders for Mellon to run onto. He just didn't quite get there. He got to the keeper, but it was that kind of insightful ball that we'd been lacking, like a really, really aimed pass at Mellon. And Mellon, what I liked about him from what I saw in that first 55 minutes was, particularly in the first half, was his desire to play in front of the goal. Like in that within the however many yards it is across the goal line, and be very focused on it and run towards it, and you can see, and that's why he got the goal. He's a proper centre forward in that respect, and he was unlucky with that header which came off the back of the defender and hit the post, and the finish was the kind of finish that would have give Kane Drummond sleepless nights, wasn't it? A tap in from 5 yards, 6 yards, but he took it with all the composure that you'd expect, and it was really, really encouraging. Yeah, I think you were spot on about the fluidity of the players, Andy, and the team and the formation. And I think that as you were saying that, because I noticed it myself yesterday, it was like talking about the formation. Hang on, how are we set up now? We're not. It was moving in play, and I think that the reason that that's now happening, and if you think about the squad that Micky Mellon inherited and the players he's got at his disposal now, he's not going to try that with players who he knows aren't capable of doing it. And I think that's the key. I think the fact that you've got Pep, Woods and Conlon in the centre of the park, you've got good players like Hannon coming into the team, Robson coming into the team, he can afford to then give them more responsibility in terms of tactics and how to do things, because they've got the nous to do it. They've got the ability to do it. The squad that he had before, the previous squads that he's inherited, just didn't have that ability. And so obviously now a better manager can manage better with better players at his disposal. And I think like yesterday was a really good example of that. So it is majorly encouraging, and hopefully now we can go on and go on a little bit of a run. We've got Bromley next week, who aren't one of our favourite sides to play, and they've had a really good start to the season. So that's going to be another tough game. It's really hard division, isn't it? It is. It's tough, and so that's like going there yesterday and picking up.
We're only 6 points off the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I know. But then yesterday, but Cheltenham won yesterday. Shrewsbury won yesterday.
It was a good job we won yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the world or anything, but for the optics of it, we needed to get that win. And yeah, are you, James? Are you on the Zen boat with me and Andy, just drifting peacefully along, enjoying all the vibes?
I think I am. I'm back on it after yesterday. I was getting a bit nervous, I've got to be honest, and I thought, I actually said to a couple of people yesterday, I said, what you've got to remember is that even in your best seasons, there'll be a point, 5-6 games where you go without a win. And, it's never in anybody's script that you'll start the season that way, but it's also not the be-all and end-all of a 46-game season. I was getting a bit nervous, though, just because, I think, we've just come up for, we've just had our first promotion in, 30, 35, 34 years, whatever. It's been, there was a real vibe at Wembley. I think that, I've never known optimism like it, for obvious reasons. And there was a sense that there could soon be a pin in that bubble. If we start struggling, and people's and fans fans get edgier. And that then starts to make its way to the players and throughout the club, which it soon can do. I think it is a bit unnerving. I think when you've stepped up a level and you struggle the first few games. But I was encouraged though by the early performances. Barring that first 20 minutes against Swindon, which was, a shocker. But at the same time, though, the fact that even that game we came back into and, put in a decent display, albeit we lost. I have been encouraged by the performances, though. And, I'm back, having seen us yesterday, I'd say I'm back on the Zen wagon. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. I think it'll be. I don't know. Just thinking about it this morning, I still think we'll have times of inconsistency. I still think we're some way off, competing for promotion. I don't know I don't think it'll come this season. Just speaking now, I mean, I'd love it if that comes back to bite me. But but at this moment in time, I don't feel like we will. But I definitely think we're better than a relegation battle, and I think we're probably better than bottom half as well. So. Yeah, I think we're in for a decent season at least. So,
yeah, the signs are good. The signs are encouraging, and Mellon Junior, good chant. There's only 2 Micky Mellons yesterday. I think I might call the podcast. There's only 2 Micky Mellons. I thought that was amusing. He looks like, what was he? He played 55 minutes. It's his first football since the end of last season, is it? I think. So he was at Bradford, so he needed sort of easing back in. But yeah, the signs were good for young Micky Junior. I was impressed. The goal. Let's talk about the goal, because Tom Conlon, who again was absolutely immense yesterday. I mean, this is the thing with the entire team that I've been really, really pleased with this season is the work rate and the effort. They've just, Fondop yesterday was everywhere. Like he put a proper shift in. There was one point when even in open play he was back at centre half, and then, like you said, like cutting out making a tackle or cutting out a cross. Can't remember which one it was, but like the shift that they put in, and the same for Conlon, absolutely everywhere, getting tackles, blocks. Watching him talking to people and really being the captain on the pitch. He's really grown into that role as the captain and the leader. But the goal itself, it was from Conlon winning the ball back high up the pitch, playing a good ball into Hannon, and him and Robson did absolutely brilliantly to create a tap in. It was a really good goal.
Well, I think it might have been Hannon that pinched it first, gave it Conlon picks it up back to Hannon to Robson's cross. Now, it was great. It was a great move. Robson is what a player he is. I'm not having anybody tell me otherwise. Watch him. His distribution is great. He'll bomb down the left. He'll jockey. He'll tackle. He's not afraid. He'll get stuck into anything. He's really hard. He'll have a go. He's a brilliant player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been a good addition, definitely.
Really, really, really good fullback. A lot better than Mark Kitchen. And Mark Kitchen was a good lad. Did a good job for us. But he's like a good league in front of Mark Kitchen, isn't he? Decent left back.
Yeah, it's a step up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all good. It was very, very encouraging. So let's just listen to this. It's time to hear from our partner for this episode, Build Budget Expert. If you're planning building work, you may be worried about what to do next, how to choose the right architect or builder, and have concerns about going over your budget, a bit like Micky Mellon. Build Budget Expert offers an affordable, personalised service that can guide and support you all the way from first idea to completion, helping you stay organised and prepared at every stage, save money, and importantly, reduce stress. And for all Latics fans, there's a Build Budget Expert promotion, 10% off. Just email hello@buildbudgetexpert.com and quote, "We're on our way. That's buildbudgetexpert.com.
We're the fire experts, fire safety experts at Pendle New Tech. We train fire marshals, fire safety marshals at Pendle New Tech. Tech.
Pendle New Tech have fire experts across the UK covering all your local and national needs. With over 100 years experience in the fire safety industry, you know that you can trust
Pendle New Tech.
Right, enough of that now. Andy, presumably when you're building the new wing on your on Halliwell Towers, you'll need to employ both build budget expert and Pendle New Tech, won't you, for all your fire extinguishers, fire exits, all that kind of stuff, you know, with it being such a grand project.
I'll be definitely taking advantage of the discounts as well. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's all very well us making our assessments of the game yesterday, but one man's opinion matters more than most, and that's of Micky Mellons Senior. So let's have a listen to him.
Micky, what pleased you most about that show this afternoon?
We won. It's a different type of performance. I think we've came away from home and played some really fantastic football and got nothing from it. But we dug in today and we fought and we scrapped. We got that first goal, which is always important. And we stood our ground and fought hard. And when the ball came in the box, we were first to it. So yeah, it's a different type of performance, but nonetheless, a very, very good one.
How pleased were you with that resilience that we showed this afternoon?
Massive, because listen, we knew we were going to try and win a game of football. We haven't won a game yet since we came back into the Football League, and we knew that. And it plays on the players' minds. I've been there myself before, and you can see that it's just about getting over the line. Just get that win, break the seal on it, and that's what they did today. And some of the performances and the asks of the game, the players were superb.
We've spoken in the first 6 games about missed chances and the value of them. Is that today precisely why you brought Michael Mellon in?
Yeah, he'll score goals. He's a goal scorer. He always has been. He's always been a goal scorer. He's way short in fitness. I think we've seen that because he's not really had a pre-season, and he's only really played under 21 football. He just said to me there, the tempo was so much different. But he's a fit boy, and he's a young boy, and he'll get up to speed soon. And he's did what he's supposed to do today, and come in and help the team to get a really important victory. So I'm really proud of him.
He played for 55 minutes. You're pleased with his overall contribution? And
yeah. If he comes in and scores a winner every week, we'll all be very happy, and the Mellons at home will be delighted. So we're really pleased. We're really pleased, and it's a team effort. And the lads, after we got that first goal, fought their hearts out. And again, Boyd only a magnificent support. I want to thank them for the support, and I really mean it. I'm not just they were superb. And they go, we probably should have got weeks ago, but we're off the mark now, and that's good.
Tom Pett's not been able to kick a competitive ball so far this season. How much credit does he deserve for completing?
I just said that to him there. I said, when you're injured and you take on that responsibility and you make sure that you get yourself fit, and you make sure that you when you come back that you have a level of fitness that you can help the team. I think that's the greatest example that you could see of it today. He's came back, he's played 90 minutes, and he's still running at the end. That's great credit to him and his professionalism, and we're delighted to have a player like that in the group.
We've been missing so many key players this season. Obviously, Pett showed today exactly what he brings, doesn't he? Yeah, he's class. I mean, he's a top player, and there's still many more missing Al, and some are still coming back. Caprice come back today, and he's been on a long layoff, and you look all around the group, we have got a lot of players missing, but the credit goes to the ones that played today, who fought and scrapped and got us an important victory. We've been close in recent weeks. Have you always felt this win was near? Yeah,
it needed to be. We knew we weren't far away. We knew that we'd got the first goal at some stage, that we would be gritty and dogged and determined, as you've got to be when you come to places like this. So we showed our qualities today, and I'm delighted for the club. I'm delighted for everybody, because it breaks the ceiling, and we can kick on now.
And we've obviously had to mention the players out, but we've had to withstand the loss of Joe Quickly as well this afternoon, so that caused a trouble too.
Listen, I don't know if I can say anything about that, but it's shocking. But I think we're just meant to just get on with it and just take on medicine. But I'm really disappointed about that, because if you're standing there all day and you see the abuse that we take on the bench all the time, it's just part of the game. Just part of the game. Just accept it. Let's all grow up and be a part of it. And for Joe to get the punishment that he did, when the referee made a mistake, sent and sent him off as a sub into the Bristol Rovers fans, who, by the way, if any of them didn't say anything, I stand corrected. But it didn't. It's part of the game. Let's all crack on with it. But listen, we move on. Disappointed for Joe, but it's all about the day, and Joe will live to fight for us another day.
And just finally, you spoke of the overall progress that's been made in the performances so far. As we look forward now, to have the first EFL win under our belts is a huge step forward, isn't it?
Massive, because it's part of our development again as a football club, to keep moving it forward and keep trying to win games of football. And that's what we'll continue to try and do. We'll keep trying to improve. We'll keep trying to improve it. But we'll always try and represent the supporters like we did today, and fight and scrap. They were every step of the way with us. So I'm delighted that we can send them home with a victory. But it'll be back to work next week again, and we'll go again.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Yeah, Micky Mellon. I mean, there's a word that was when he was describing. He was talking about his lad, which is obviously a very, very proud. Must be a great feeling for him to manage his son in professional football. But and it kind of leads back to what you were talking about, James, from Wembley. Is just pride. I feel like there's a lot of pride. I feel like Micky Mellon is very proud to be the manager of Oldham Athletic, and I think when I listen to him talk in that situation, he feels that he is privileged to be in this position, to work for this club under with the resurrection of Oldham Athletic, to be backed by fans as brilliant as that down at Cambridge, to be working with owners and a family and just good human beings. And I think there's a lot of pride in it, and I think that's a really important part of our resurrection. I think we need to keep that. We need that, and 6 games in, we'd not been ahead we'd not been ahead in the game. It took until that goal yesterday for us to actually take the lead, and yet I think most of us weren't panicking. Most of us were like confident that it was going to come, and proud and happy with where we're at as a football club. And I think as long as that continues, the longer it continues, the better. And I think having this conversation about beyond this season with Mellon now, we need to, that I think that would be good to get that sorted one way or another. I think his job, well, Andy's saying calm down, but I think the sooner you know, the better. I'm not saying it needs to be done right now, but I think maybe, he's coming up to, he's only got, till the end of the season.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
Wait till Christmas.
Like you said, we've got an hour to fill. So, but I think, I just think when I listen to him talk like that, and having met the man a few times and not many times, there's a very genuine guy in there, and I just get that off him. I feel that he's proud, and he feels like he's part of something. He's part of building something, and that's what we need. And the consistency, our biggest success has come under Jimmy Frizzle and Joe Royal, and both of them were long-serving managers. And maybe Micky Mellon is the third in that trilogy. What do you reckon, James?
I'd be surprised if it was that much longer, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Just because of the way football is nowadays, to be perfectly honest. And also, what I am conscious of as well with Mellon is that I don't think he's never really done it in League One, has he? He had the relegation with Tranmere, albeit obviously that was with a season that was cut short, and Tranmere, I think, were probably the most vocal in coming out against the season being curtailed when it was, weren't they, from memory? So yeah, maybe there was a bit more to that, maybe. I don't know about his record with Shrewsbury up there, actually. I probably should have looked it up. But, after he got them up, I think he had a season with them. I don't know if that was the end of the contract or he was moved on or whatever. Just going back to that point there about when do you determine it? I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not way past Christmas, to be honest with you. And we're talking March and April. In fact, actually, if there's an announcement to be made about it, I would rather it came then than us have half as even. Because what I wouldn't want to manage for a start, unless he's absolutely staying on come Christmas. I wouldn't want us to go through what best part of half a season with a manager who's halfway out the door. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's not an announcement or a decision that comes quite a bit late. That comes quite a bit later than that. And for me personally, I think it will just depend really on how and where we are in the league, how we're looking, how we're looking going forward. I think for the club, that's the most important thing, really, for me, under this ownership. I think, this ownership's been superb, obviously. And I think what it always has to do, though, is I think it has to avoid the kind of Coney syndrome of, kind of just settling, really, oh, yeah, we finished 16th, 17th, we survived once again, when,
We're in 17th now, aren't we?
well, yeah, I know, yeah. But even so, I think the club's got to maintain a way forward, even during the hard times, even after disappointing seasons. I think as long as we've got people running us who are always looking forward, always looking for ways to improve, and there's not that just sheer stagnation that we'd seen prior to the absolute collapse under Abdallah, then I think that will help to maintain at least to some degree the really good thing I think that we've got going now. There is a good overall. I mean, fans do complain from time to time, and what have you. But overall, I think there is a really, really good vibe about the place. And I've been at one home game this season. That was the Swindon game. The atmosphere was great. I think the point as well was made last week as well by the fan guest who was on then that just getting out of the National League has massively improved the feel at home games and the atmosphere that we're seeing. But as well, I mean, I felt it yesterday in that away end. I mean, just the backing that we gave them really from first whistle to last, I thought was absolutely superb. And I think that will last, and I think it will get better. Obviously success will help it, but even so, we're not going to win something every year. We're going to have lean times as much as we're going to have good times. But I think that as long as we've got a club which is at least always maintaining a way forward, always looking for a way forward, then I think we can keep that going. So,
I'd on the Mellon conversation that Matt raised there. There's no if you were going to make me make a decision today. Do you offer him a new contract? Or do you not offer him a new contract today? I offer him today. I'm forcing you to either make a decision, yes or no. He gets a new contract offer, or he doesn't today. I'm offering him one.
Yeah,
right?
me too. I am as well.
There's no reason why you wouldn't, right? No reason why you wouldn't, because he's got us promoted. We look relatively competitive at League Two level. If not, as James said, we're not likely to challenge the higher echelons this season, but we're certainly very comfortable. And you never know. I'm
sticking to my seventh. I'm sticking to my seventh. My prediction of seventh. I'm sticking with it.
You stick with it, mate. The chances of you predicting the exact finish 2 seasons on a row are nil. So therefore, I'm not gonna...
pretty much, yeah. But yeah, no, you might. We might finish 6th.
Yeah. But whatever will be. The point I'm making is, if you were going to give him a contract, you would say yes today, right? But I don't think it makes any difference whether you begin contract negotiations. In fact, if you're beginning contract negotiations on the 7th of September, if he's asking for contract negotiations start on the 7th of September, you'd be like, "Oh, Micky, you got nearly a year left, yeah? Let's review it. Let's say we'll see where everyone is at Christmas, and then you get the opportunity just to have a look about how it's settling down this new squad that he's building. This again. Let's fill some time talking about subject matters that we just do for the sake of it. There is a hell of a risk in signing your son, isn't there?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, of course there is. Yeah.
Have you seen Richie Wellens has done it at Leyton Orient? He signed Charlie Wellens, who looks like he's someone's taken a bicycle pump to him and pumped him up a little bit.
Well, we all remember him getting absolutely battered and bruised at Bromley when he came off. We're just like, God, this boy needs. He needs.
Well, he scored 2 in 2, one worldie and one in the 10th minute of injury time to win the game from yesterday. So
if he's got half the talent of his dad, he's going to be a good footballer, isn't he? So.
Quite.
Is he still at United as well, that Charlie Wellens, is he? Oh.
No, he's let go, isn't he?
I don't know. I actually don't. I saw he was at Orient. So he's at Orient permanent then, is he?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I think he's been given a short-term contract. Because he's out, because he hasn't got a club. I'm pretty sure.
But there is a risk, Andy, like you said, because obviously, there's always a section of the supporters who are happy to jump on the back of the manager if things, aren't going well for 5 minutes in a game or whatever. And, if you sign your son, you open yourself up to all the nepotism.
Yeah, all that, and just and by the way, I'm now flitting from one subject matter to another, so this is not the greatest listen for listeners. But I was talking to somebody who, it's the easiest way to frame this. I was talking to somebody who know people in the Burnley setup, and they were saying that Michael Mellon would get criticised in the Burnley setup for being a bit lazy, like. Not really running the channels, not chasing stuff down, not how he's a penalty box player. And a bit like you just said a minute ago, Matt, he stands relatively central and he comes alive when the ball's in the box and he scores, right? I mean, he can do that all day for me and nothing else if that's what he's doing.
Exactly.
Right? But he's a bit, I mean, it's a loose word, lazy, because define what that means. Mercurial sometimes players are, aren't they, when they're a bit, a bit languid and a bit late. His running style's a bit languid, a bit sort of slow. But he's not slow across the ground, but he looks like he moves quite smoothly. Anyway, I digress. If you watched him yesterday, there were a couple of times where he didn't chase stuff back or run the channels, or if you're being hypercritical. But then he's not had any football and he's got to get match fit and all that nonsense. But I guess the main point that took me down this dead end was it's a bit of a risk. Sign your son, it doesn't work out. You've got nepotism, or then you're not playing your son, you've got family feud, or you've got anything going on that can upset the apple cart. Well, it's pointless sticking a 2-year contract in front of Micky Mellon now if wheels are about to fall off. I'm not saying that they are going to, but the best thing to do here from this point is wait until Christmas, see where you are, and then go from there. And Christmas with the transfer window and everything that comes with it would probably be a suitable. I mean, you might have sorted out your contract with Micky in November, right? So he could then get himself sorted for the transfer window in January. But that would be the sensible course of action, wouldn't it? Instead of rushing.
I suspect that there's probably an understanding already of what they would like to of what they would like, through conversations and whatnot, unofficially. Micky Mellon's remit might have been get us out of League Two. Get us into League One, back where we belong. The job's not finished till and your job's not finished till we're back in League One. And ultimately that's my thoughts on it. We've got to get back to League One, and then we're back where we start. And your points earlier on, James, about Corny and that kind of survival day to day. That is not the ownership we've got in place. Sports Town is being developed. All the education stuff coming in. Things are vastly different. Uncle Knobhead is not a senior player in the boardroom.
He's too busy trying to detect people called brothers.
Yeah, exactly. I just think of all the crime that must have gone unsolved while he was in. Anyway.
All the people that got fitted up on that just because they're the same name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The direction of travel is vastly different, but stability. The amount of times when we went through all those managers, and you're just hoping, is this the one? Can this manager stick? Can he stay for a few seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons? I think it's absolutely crucial to building a football club is having that stability, like at this foundational point in its redevelopment. And I think having that relationship, Joe Royal always used to say the most important relationship was between the manager and the chairman. We're now in a situation where there is a lot of mutual respect and the relationship's really, really good. So as long as it's working on the pitch and the improvements are going in the right direction, like we were saying right at the beginning of the pod, Andy, he's now recruited players that he can manage with a squad of players, a team of players that he can manage during a game and work on things in training because they've got the intelligence to do it. Woods, Pett, and Conlon. That is a quality midfield. Like I said at the beginning, I was unsure whether we'd score enough goals and win enough games just with Woods and Conlon playing in a 4-4-2. That's how it appeared yesterday when it started. But I think away from home, we're probably a bit more adept, again, like what you were saying, James, as well, like sort of soaking things up and being a bit more solid with those players. But look, we've got some really, really good players. Hannon, I think, I've been impressed by. I thought he played really well yesterday. Like you said, Robson's a real upgrade. Manny's come in, he's been brilliant. He's brought in Caprice. There's other players that we've not seen yet. Quickly, I think, as that main target man is an upgrade on Fondop. I think Fondop's still got a big role to play because, like you said, he has more value to the team than just being up front and winning headers and stuff. He will go on a scoring patch this season. I'm absolutely sure of it. If he sometimes you just need to bring him on the pitch off the bench to cause havoc, and he does that. So it's having all those different ingredients in the squad to bring on and to do what you need them to do when you need them to do it. And I feel like, I go back to when Sheridan took over. When
Which
we were
time?
Exactly. In our relegation season. And you think back to, was it Bristol Rovers at home? I think we beat them, and he had like 11 players that could play football. And if you had all those 11 on the pitch at the same time, we probably might have just scraped enough points together. But the squad was so threadbare that as soon as you lost one through injury, as we did, and through suspension, the squad was just absolutely bobbins, and it had nothing. And despite the amount of injuries that we've had early on this season, the team has been competitive in every game. The games that we lost at home should have won. We had more than enough chances. So the level in ability and in effort and just in everything has risen significantly since Micky Mellon's been in charge. You look back, we've got a much better squad of footballers now than we did when he took over. So you have to say he's doing a really, really good job.
If you also look at, just to give you an idea, Cambridge at home this season, they started with a 1-0 win against Cheltenham. Then they played Harrogate in the second home game, drew that 1-1. Beat Charlton in the League Cup 3-1. Obviously from 2 divisions higher, aren't they now, Charlton in the Championship? And then they beat Newport 2-0 in the last game before us. Not lost at home this season. They have now.
Yeah.
It's decent, isn't it? We definitely can compete at this level much better than a fair chunk of sides. So I'm really. We need to find a different word than zen, but I'm just absolutely chilled.
Yeah.
Just to say, Andy, nice. Just on that point you make there about Cambridge's form. I think if you've looked throughout the results over the last 6 games or so, I mean, there's obvious, Gillingham and Swindon are obviously looking very strong, but there's been some mad results though as well. There has been some, there's not. I don't think there isn't really a pace setter as such yet, is there? A team who's having a real early season run away with it. It's as you made the point earlier on. We are only 6th, but we're 17th, but we're only 6th off 7th place still. Which you would have thought some of the gaps would start to be opening up now. I think after 7 or 8 games, wouldn't you? But it's still very, very tight. So yeah, I think it's. I said look, I think we're a mid-table side this season, but one run of form, and that could soon start to change, couldn't it? So,
it's obvious where the issue lies in it's scoring goals. Like we've still not scored enough goals this season, but once
I think have we got the second? Have we got the second best defensive record in the league?
Yeah, our goal difference is -1. We've not conceded many at all. How many clean sheets is that now this season?
Bear with me. Let me have a look at the.
It's 0-0 against Bristol. 0 won yesterday.
So we've only conceded 5 goals, right? We've only scored 4.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Exactly, -1. Yeah.
So we've only conceded 5 goals. Yeah. The only team in the league that can beat that is Walsall, and we tie with Gillingham. in terms of goals conceded.
Yeah, so it really is a case of get it right at the other end of the pitch, and we'll really start to rise up that table because revelation. You only need to win a game 1-0. You don't need to win it 4-0 or 5-0. I mean, it's not good for the nerves winning games 1-0, but I'll take it.
Could you see from the TV yesterday? James and I would have seen it. There were so we're 1-0 up. It's deep in the second half. We're defending like the Alamo a little bit, and then was it first half or second half? I'm getting confused. Nothing. Pretty sure it was second. And then they had 2 short corners in quick succession. And our lot, we're all talking to each other in the box, waiting for the ball to be delivered, and they're sorting the short corner out. And everyone's going, "This is a short corner."
Yeah.
You're like, concentrate.
I did notice a couple of where they were switched off, and they were running into the box, and no one was anywhere near. Like they just, I did notice that.
Yeah, so it's a couple of little moments, like a couple of little bits, lapses of concentration that you can improve upon. But I mean, like I say, you've only conceded 5 goals, so it's not really the issue. But yeah, it's all looking good.
I mean, in terms of goals, like obviously you want to, your centre forwards are who you want to be scoring, but Drummond won a free kick, didn't he, on the edge of the area yesterday? Got fouled, which set up an opportunity for Tom Conlon. Good save from the goalkeeper. That was on its way into the top corner. Little things like that,
Hannant's goal line clearance.
Hannant's goal line clearance, yeah. Also, Robson, in that instance, he slid in and just took the edge off the ball. Like he came sliding in, and it just took the sting out of it, and then it was cleared by Hannant. So, but that's the kind of effort though that's going in. It's absolutely fantastic. And let's talk about Drummond and his chance, his opportunity. I think it is always hard when you have to run like half a length of the pitch with the afterburners on full to, then you're one-on-one with a keeper. He should have scored. There's no 2 ways about it. But my overriding emotion was just I felt sorry for the lad. I wasn't like screaming at the TV, going, shouting abuse. I felt sorry for the lad. He'd done really well. He just needs that bit of luck. It needs to hit the keeper and go in anyway, doesn't it? He just needs that bit of luck. Unfortunately, he's not getting it. But like you said, his contribution, he won that free kick. That could have been a goal. Could have scored yesterday. Just got to keep faith with the lad, and hopefully he'll start knocking a few in himself.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
What was it like in the terrace, Andy? When that? What was the?
So it is. Everyone. What's good about a terrace, I think, better than seating, is when you're in seats, you tend to stay in your own group of people, don't you? But when you're on a terrace, you mill around amongst lots and lots of different people. So you talk to loads of people during the game. It makes it more social event. So you're chatting away to people and hearing what people are saying, and everyone around me, like, there's one bloke turns to me and went, "Did anyone think that was going in?" Like, I knew that was nobody, not one. You're like, "Go on, Drummond," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Drummond. Oh no, he's gonna miss this."
For a split second, I did dare to dream for a split second when I saw he made it to the 18-yard line. I was like, here we are.
I just laughed because you couldn't do anything else, really. And I wasn't laughing at him. I was just laughing at the situation.
Yeah,
there's not much you do about it. But I guess the point is, in those situations, right, and this is where you've got to be consistent, is he has to score that, right? If that had been Mike Fondop, I'd have been,
well, the obvious example is the one at Altrincham away last season, where
exactly the same. Now, I guess, and this is where the context of the game can sometimes emphasise or highlight that particular problem, or maybe take the sting out of it a little bit. Is we still won yesterday 1-0, so it didn't matter. But had Cambridge scored in the dying embers of that game, and we'd have lost out on 2 points, then that by Drummond would have got highlighted and felt worse. In that Altrincham game, you're going back to last season, that was to win the game. And we threw 2 points away with that miss. So, if you're going to be consistent, Drummond as a forward player, he's not a striker, but he's a forward player. He has to be put in that way. And he did everything right, a bit like Micky did last season at Altrincham. Nicked the ball in the centre of the park and broke clear. Did everything right. Couldn't really argue too much. It's just his finish. Drummond's finish, he clearly lacked the confidence, and he could have gone round him. You know, he could have dummied him and dropped his shoulder and chipped him. He could have done. I'm sure there was more space between the keeper and the post, but he just went too narrow, didn't he? Yeah. That was it.
I mean, he would just keep going, get in the box, draw a foul, win a penalty, but yeah, look, like I said, I'm hopeful that it'll come good with Drummond in front of goal, because I think he is contributing to the team. I think he is, he's playing well. He came on yesterday, did a good job. So, yeah, just hopefully, maybe next week against Bromley, that at some point that it breaks and the floodgates open, or at least he scores a few this season. So, anyway, listen, James, I'm going to give you a minute to compose yourself, and then we'll be back with Latics Mind. The Boundary Park Alert System is sponsored by Pendle New Tech, a family-run Lancashire business you can rely on for everything fire safety related, including supply and installation, maintenance, testing, certification, alarms, risk assessments, like I said, anything fire safety related. But what do I know? Visit pendlenutech.com and they'll sort you right out. Check the show notes for more information. It's time to hear from our partner for this episode, Build Budget Expert. If you're planning building work, you may be worried about what to do next, how to choose the right architect or builder, and have concerns about going over your budget, a bit like Micky Mellons. Build Budget Expert offers an affordable, personalised service that can guide and support you all the way from first idea to completion. And for all Latics fans, there's a Build Budget Expert promotion, 10% off. Just email hello@buildbudgetexpert.com and quote, "We're on our way." Right, we're on our way. James, how do you usually do on Latics Mind when you're playing along at home?
Yeah, I'm a bit bipolar with it, to be honest with you, Matt. I mean, there's some days when I can get, I think my top score once, I think I got 6 on one once, but then there's other days when, I'm lucky to get 1, to be honest. So, so I'm hoping these will fall kindly for me, but yeah, we'll find out, won't we?
Right, are you ready, Andy? We had to request some more questions from the supercomputer, Prendy the supercomputer, didn't we? Because we were running low.
We were running low on stocks, yeah. Also, last week we had the issue with the beeper. Is that going to be fixed this week, Matt?
Well, I mean, I've got no control over it. I just press the button and it does what it does. So hopefully everything will be fine. But yeah, I was looking on the sheet of questions. We've got through absolutely hundreds of questions, and we've fair play to Prendy for all those questions that he's.
These aren't all of them. This is only since the start of last season. So there was
so there was like 202
seasons more. Yeah.
So like, if you've been paying attention, then your own Latics knowledge as a listener should have improved. Obviously, it's in one ear and out the other with me. So anyway, James, it's all about you today. Good luck, mate. Here we go. Latics Mind is sponsored by Oldham Athletic Supporters Foundation, investing in the fans, the club and the community. Join today at oasf.co.uk for just £12 a year. OASF, because we're stronger together.
What number Latics shirt did the legendary David Ayres wear for Latics?
28.
Correct. Who did Latics sign from Bury in September 1996?
Pass.
Latics won 4-3 at Rochdale in 2023. James Norwood, Hallam Hope, Nathan Sheeran, and who else scored Latics goals?
Pass.
When John Sheridan returned for his 4th spell as Latics manager in January 2017, who did he return to replace?
Steve Robinson.
Correct. Who did David Unsworth originally appoint as a first-team coach? His first team coach.
Pass.
Who has Jezlon Uchegbalum signed for since leaving Latics at the end of last season?
It's a National League South team, isn't it? I think it's somewhere in Hampshire for pass.
Who was Latics manager from May 1998 until October 2001?
Andy Ritchie.
Correct. What score have our last 3 league games at St Andrews Birmingham finished?
0-0.
Correct.
Oh, that was a total guess, that one.
At the start of the 1990-1991 season, how many consecutive games did Latics win?
5.
Correct. Who was Latics manager from November 2001 until May start so finish? Who was Latics manager from November 2001 until May 2002?
Mick Wadsworth.
Correct. It's not bad, that, James. I'll do the totting up for you.
Yep.
So some fell in your zone there, weren't there?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I've only just heard the beeps, Andy. You heard them before me this time, so God knows what's going on there. But anyway.
1, 2, 3. You got 6 there, James.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's as good as his best ever return. In terms of passes,
right.
You did.
I haven't seen these questions, by the way.
No, I don't think you have. No,
I haven't. Yeah. So I'm gonna let's see how I get on the passes.
I'm gonna ask you. Yeah.
I've got a feeling I know some of these.
Who did Latics sign from Bury in September 1996?
Was it Chris Porter?
No, it was Gary Kelly. Porter came like a decade later.
Yeah, was it a decade? Was it that late? I couldn't. He signed for Bury though, didn't he? That was
Porter was playing for us in 2006. He signed a couple of years earlier than that, didn't he?
Ronnie Moore signed Porter, didn't he?
Yeah. Who won? So when we won 4-3 at Rochdale in the National League, James Norwood, Hallam Hope, Nathan Sheeran, and who were the goal scorers?
What season was it?
In Micky Mellons' first.
Oh yeah, that first game
at Rochdale when we won 4-3.
Sheeran, James Norwood,
Hallam Hope, and Paddy will be screaming at this because I saw Paddy yesterday and we actually spoke about this exact question. I didn't know it was
it Mike Fondop?
No, it was Devan Green.
So if I haven't seen the questions.
Yeah. Who has Jezrun Uchegbalum signed for since leaving Latics?
I remember seeing this, bit like you, James, but it's not stuck in my. Is it Ebbsfleet?
It's Eastbourne Borough.
Eastbourne, but yeah, I knew it began with an E.
Yeah.
So he'll be back with James Norwood in a few years, then, will he?
Eastbourne Borough under 9s or whatever.
Right, well, let's see if I can get one. I think I know this one.
So the last one was, who did David Unsworth originally appoint as his first team coach?
Was it John Ebro?
No, I see. This is funny. It's how the question's worded. I think it was. I don't think he was his. That was
his assistant manager, wasn't it?
That was his assistant manager. Yeah, first team coach. Who was the first team coach that first team coach he appointed?
I can't remember. Don't know.
Francis Jeffers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you did well there. You got 6. That's very good.
I'll take it.
I got none on my 4. So if you'd have got them all the passes, you'd have got a 10, which would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Score 6 is still very good though.
Yeah, I'll take it.
On the subject of Latics Mind, I would like to wish Matt Berry, Buzzer, who wrote and recorded the theme tune for Latics Mind, a very happy 50th birthday. He's 50 today as we record Sunday. He is a very youthful looking 50-year-old. But thanks for the music. He also wrote the tune for the Buy Me a Coffee with me and Sexy Dave. So yeah, he's a good lad. I'm in the bands with him, and happy birthday, mate! Thanks for all your your contributions to the show. Really appreciate it. You old get. Right. He says I rapidly approaching my 50th birthday as well. Well, it's a couple of years off yet, but it seems close. It's never been closer, Andy. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I beat you there, mate. I'll beat you.
You will indeed. I can't wait for your 50th. I'm sure it's going to involve all kinds of merriment. Like maybe at Halliwell Towers. It could be at the Ambassador's reception. Yeah, it could be anything, couldn't it? Who knows?
It could be.
Exciting.
I could just fly everybody to the Cayman Islands or something, maybe.
That'd be nice. Spend some of the money you've got over there. Yeah. Right. Okay. Is there any other business?
No, there is no other business, Matthew. We've done an hour. It's been enjoyable. Let's enjoy the sunshine, shall we?
Yeah. Well, there's no sunshine here. In fact, but this might shock you as I sit in North Manchester, but it's raining. Yeah, it's raining. So
bright blue sky outside my house.
How the other half live, eh?
What's it like in Islington, James? Look out the window. Should be nice and sunny where you are.
Yeah, it's nice.
I can see the sun shining on him there. Yeah. So yeah, right. Well, listen. The thing is, Latics won yesterday, and everything else is pretty sound, isn't it? At the club, everything's good. We're at Boundary Park next week. Hopefully the fanzine will be finished and printed out, and there'll be more copies of that available for you to grab. Response to the first edition has been good. I'd like to thank all the people that contribute towards it. Hopefully we'll have some people phoning in on the phone to praise Latics after a win. It's more difficult to get callers these days because everyone's pretty happy, pretty chilled. We need the piss to be on the boil for everybody to want to phone in and rant and rave. Even Gaz is bloody mellow. It's different times, Andy. Different times completely to when we started. It's the anniversary. It's like our 5-year anniversary around this time of year in September, because it was when it kicked off against Leyton Orient in the behind closed doors season, I think, in 2020. So yeah, that's when it started.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to us. Yeah.
It's gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, 5 years, eh? Bloody hell. Nice one. James, thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Andy, thanks as always, mate.
No worries.
And we'll see you all for the phone-in on Thursday. Yeah, there's only 2 Micky Mellons.
Hey Dave, did you know that listeners can now buy us a coffee or any other kind of hot beverage?
Ooh.
What's your favourite hot beverage, Dave?
A macchiato.
And how do you like your macchiato?
Black with lots of milk. Oh.
No cream?
No.
Well, if you want to buy Dave a
macchiato,
then go to buymeacoffee.com/We Are Oldham. I'll just have a Nescafe.
Oh. Thank you, listeners.